Oh God, no. Ooh. Today, excuse me, very emotional. Today is the very last in the XSplit tutorial series for Series 1. Shall we roll the titles and get the hell on with it then? Oh my God, it's gone dark. Right. So we're talking, I mentioned the tarot night with my character Norma Bates, who's no longer with us, unfortunately.
Yes, see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye for now. Bye, Norma. Now, the whole idea of this was to do a spoof tarot reading night for my friends on Facebook, and I needed some way of getting some cards where the viewers could live pick cards for their tarot choices. So what we did is I created a PowerPoint which basically was 2 layers. So the first layer was the pictures of the cards, of what actual cards they were, and then over the top of that I placed an upturned card which I designed myself. Let me show you what I mean. So the way you work this is you need an extra scene. So we're going to open a new scene. On my other monitor I have a PowerPoint that I've created, and it's start, you know, the bit which says start slideshow. So that bit's already been done. I'm on now on a running a PowerPoint. So what I need to do is add source and stop waffling, because you're talking to adults and people that can actually understand. Window capture, and we're looking for the PowerPoint slideshow, and there it is. Obviously I'm going to resize this, and I'll probably put myself underneath it. Now, thing to be careful of here is, yes, I've got a PowerPoint background, but you can't actually operate it from here. You can't make it do anything from here. So what you need to do is have your mouse on the other screen, and then think about the options of whether you want your viewer to see your mouse, your cursor. Right? So that's another thing to consider. In regards to getting rid of that, I'm not sure if you can. Let me just see if there's an option in the options here. I don't know if there is. Client area. Oh, there is. This is why I love this program. Straight away, look, show mouse cursor, yes or no. Show mouse clicks, yes or no. Fabulous, isn't it? Okay. The other thing you could do if you wanted to, you could adjust the colour, whichever colour you wanted, but for the purpose of showing you today, I'll show you how I, I'll tell it's first thing in the morning, my fingers aren't working properly. Okay, let's show you this thing working. So the viewers would phone in and they would say, can I have the first row, the third card? So I would click on that and it reveals their card. Then they would say, they pick 3, so they'd say the second row, 4th card, or last card, sorry, and the third row, 4th card. And then they've picked their 3 cards. Once they've done that, I've still got that on my second monitor, so I can refer to it. So I'm not going to forget what those cards are, but I can then come back to my broadcaster and go back to the main screen. All right. So I'm now going to look at your 3 cards. Right, Jonathan, you've picked, your first card was the High Priestess. Now she is a mysterious character that can mean power. You see what I mean? So I've still got the information, whatever information I want on my other monitor. I can have a list of what the cards mean. I can have a list of funny sort of jokes and puns that I want to put into the show from those cards, and all of that the viewer doesn't get to see. What I used to do is once I've done the first card and made a little bit of a joke out of it, I would show the viewers the screen again just to remind them. So yes, Jonathan's second card was justice. So justice means that, and the more that you can sort of get your screen switching backwards and forwards, not too often, but just to keep that added interest of the viewer's eye, it's important. All right. So PowerPoint is a very powerful tool. Now, I'm not an expert with PowerPoint. I know a little thing about how to put layers on and how to get the layers to interact and all this lot, but there's a lot more you can do with PowerPoint. You could have sort of spinning dials and all sorts of things. Okay, the other thing you could do is a simple thing like a Word document. So if you wanted to show people some instructions for a game, for example, you could type up your Word document and show them live on your show. It depends what you do for a living. It depends what your own personal niche is going to be about when you're YouTubing or on social media. Okay, what else can we show you? Let's move on to something else. The other thing I promised to show you, I think I've promised you this on episode 1 or 2, is gaming. Here we go. Right. Add source. So the way I've done this, I've actually started my game up already. So let's see if we can find it. Add source, game capture, and yes, I have downloaded a train simulator game. Now don't think any different of me. I am 50 very soon, so I'm allowed to get away with playing simulations. It's only because I'm no good at things like Call of Duty. Right, and there it is, tiny in the top screen, in the top corner. So first thing I'm going to be doing is I want it adjusted to suit the scene. If it doesn't fit, if it's a bit then either adjust your game settings, which I probably would do, but for today we're going to try and stretch this out and see if we can make this full screen. It's not going to look the best because it's stretched, but the way we do that, just to remind you, either right click or click settings, turn off keep in source memory because you don't need it in the source memory, layout, turn off that, and if you've got your hotkeys set up, you could press Control Shift F or Command Shift F, or just drag it out. And as you can see, it's a bit. However, like I say, until you've. The other thing I could do just to make it look a little bit better, perhaps, is I could go back to the settings and take a bit of the top of this off. So if I did, in fact, let me get this right. Top. Yeah. If I take the top down a little bit, then I could make it a bit more aspect ratio wise better. But just to prove that we are in a game, so there we are, I can move around the screen. I can play the game as normal. That's me. Oh, I look a lot younger. I like this game. That's good. And I'll bring the audio in a second. Let's get this baby on the road. Let's see if we can get this thing moving. Can't remember how to play, but don't tell the viewers. And that is us playing live, or we could be recording live now and live streaming your game. Simple as that, really is. There's probably a lot more, but like I say, I'm not really a gamer, so I don't really know the ins and outs of all this XSplit is capable of doing. Right, however, I do have something now which you will find interesting if you're a gamer. Now, a lot of people like to have themselves in the corner when they're gaming, especially when they're streaming, but you can also do extra special things with other apps to make your stream look a little bit different. We're going to go to a quick break so I can go and set something up, and then I'll come straight back to you. How's that? Hi, just a polite reminder, please don't forget to subscribe or at least like. It means the world to me. Let's go back to the show. So how about this then? We're now using a raccoon to represent you while driving a train. Of course, just, I mean, what else? What else would you want when you're gaming? I'm not very good. I'm not very good with virtual animals, so you'll have to bear with me. I think I can stick his tongue out as well. Let's give this a try. How do we do this? No. I don't know. Is his tongue out? Yeah, there we go. Cool. But yes, as you can see, you can do a lot more than just having you on the screen. This is using an app called FaceRig. I'm not being sponsored by FaceRig. I've only used it for the purpose of this show, just to show you. And I'm not very good at getting his mouth to move at the same time I talk, because you have to over exaggerate your mouth while talking. Right, enough of this. Let's go and have a look at something else. Okay, I did say I'm going to show you other things, but I'm not. So I'm going to rewind on that statement. Hold on. By going back a bit and saying, we've really covered everything. You could add in things like YouTube videos, which is ad source, web page, yeah, and then you copy and paste the URL. Shall we do one just to show you? Let's do one. Web page. It brings this up. It says, what is the URL? Control V to paste it, I think. Click OK and see what happens, and then I'll drag this out. So I thought, no thanks. Yeah, whatever. I agree. So I thought I'd be brave. I've always talked about doing this. I bought my podcast P8, or PodTrack P8, sorry, outdoors. I've got my microphone attached to the back of my car. It's running off the batteries off the P8.
Just watch this.
4 pence of batteries, and oh, bollocks. Yeah, I would probably use the smart selection tool rather than web page for that. So I'll go smart selection and bring it in like that. That way then you've only got the video rather than the whole web page. It's perfect though. It's perfect though if you want to highlight a web page of your own. But like I say, it shows the viewer things like your bookmarks and everything else if you're logged in. All right, so just be careful what you're showing the viewers is what I'd say to you. The other thing to look into, which I'm not going to teach you because I'm not a lawyer, is be careful with the legal side of things. If you're sharing a website that you don't own, there are legal implications of copyright you have to be careful of. All right, so Google it and research it in regards to sharing something that you don't have permission to share or written permission to share. And the other one to be careful of is recording phone calls. If you're recording phone calls to a show, there are different rules in different countries about whether you can do that or not. All right? I've not heard of any podcasters or podcast presenters being sued for recording a phone call, but there are laws out there that could get you in trouble for it, I'm sure. And that is the end of Series 1, apart from if you've produced any videos on your own from XSplit, get them in the comments to me now, because I'd love to do a little add-on show to this series where I highlight your videos, stuff that you've created from watching these tutorials. It's a bit of reassurance for me that this show actually works, and it's also a chance for you to get extra airtime of your productions. Cool. I'll leave it there. Look forward to Series 2, which will be in early spring. I'll put a teaser out there in a couple of weeks' time. Stay tuned to the channel for other nonsense which will be on there. And thank you very much for those that have subscribed during this series, or just simply watched it and enjoyed my nonsense. All right, all the best, stay safe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.